Journey with a Cinephile presents.
I'm obsessed with the truth, and that's my sickness. We will end these troubles, we will put down the enemy, and that will be the end of it. The Native Americans, they believed that a photograph would take a piece of the subject's soul. But what gets left out of the fine print is that it can also take a piece of the photographer's soul.
Depp Dive, a Depper Look into Johnny's feature filmography.
Episode 30, Waiting for the Barbarians, Minamata. Hello and welcome listeners to another episode of Journey with a Cinephile Presents Depp Dive, a Depper Look at Johnny's feature filmography. I am one half of your hosting duo of David Garrett Jr., recording out of Columbus, Ohio, and joined by my ever-loving and sometimes
Choose your words carefully.
contentious wife of...
Jaime Frisch Garrett. You're on thin ice already, mister.
You are on thin ice as well. It's been an interesting evening. So how are things going?
Why don't you tell me? You're the one being all pokey.
Pokey the Bear. I mean, I actually had a decent little day at work, but outside,
You came home all grumpy.
Well, because people at Sam's Club gas station don't understand how to not be rude and not drive in the exit to get to a gas pump because it's open.
Yeah, were you waiting for that one?
Well, no, I was waiting for one, and then I saw one come available, and nobody was going for it, so I went to go for it, and somebody cut in and took it, and...
Then you had to get out of line?
So then I had to go all the way back to the end of the line, and then everybody just decided that this was going to be the slowest day they've ever pumped gas. They've never done it before in their lives, so...
When Kenzie came home and I was holding her, she was telling me about how boys and girls cut in front of you. And I was like, oh, bad traffic day.
Traffic was actually fine. Like, I actually got through the bottleneck pretty quickly. And
Picked a bad time to go.
I was either that or when am I going to go?
Now.
I was on 50 miles till empty, and I didn't want to deal with it.
My car.
I could always take your car, but I didn't.
Nope, sure didn't.
So, yeah. How was your evening since we want to...
My evening has been a little contentious, as you have said in my intro. Because someone's grumpy and keeps poking me.
You're also grumpy.
I'm grumpy because our child is a little frustrating. Oh, stop it. See what I mean, friends? See what I mean? No, things have been going well overall.
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, you don't want to share anything?
I don't remember what I shared last time.
I mean, why you're so just bright and chipper nowadays?
Oh, because I work from home
90%
90% of the time.
Yeah.
Well, this week is what? 25% of the time I was in the office.
Yeah. Normally it's 20% if.
Yeah. So.
And you got a bunch of goodies when you went in, so don't act like it was all bad.
What do you mean?
You got a bunch of candy.
That I don't eat. They're for you guys.
And cookies.
That I don't eat. They're for you guys.
Share half of one.
Yes. But we're only sharing half of desserts, because why?
Because you want to be fit by 40.
We want to be fit by 40.
But the problem there is that my 40th is a whole year ahead of yours, so...
So, looks like you'll just have to go harder.
I'm under the gun, so I gotta take it on the run.
I don't even know that song.
REO Speedwagon? Heard it from a friend who...
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Well, sing the good part of the song.
Well, it doesn't make sense, though.
That's fair.
I need it to make sense because
Jamie's got a gun.
Jamie's got a gun!
Woo! No, so I'm right and chipper because I work from home.
That's true.
But you're also benefiting from me working from home.
Yeah, but we'd also be more happier if I could also get one. So,
So that's not my fault.
If anybody out there is hiring and wants
No, that's not true. If anyone out there wants a podcaster who just wants to watch movies when he wants to watch movies.
No, that's absolutely not what I want to do. There's a lot of things that I can do that help me to not have to drive to work every single day and whatnot.
That is true.
You jerk.
For $250,000 a year.
The price tag is negotiable.
Says him.
I am a supply planner, and I've also done underwriting analyst, and I've also done data analysis. Anyways, anything else you want to say before we kind of talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing here?
I don't think so.
Alrighty. Well, 2 movies that neither of us have never seen. I've never really heard
Neither
about
of us
either.
have never seen. Is that English?
I mean, it sounded like it until you jumped down my throat.
Oh my god.
But looks like this double feature here is going to be period pieces. Because both, you need to calm your jets real quick. First one is going to be Waiting for the Barbarians from 2019. You have forgotten this because it actually co-stars your boys, your 2 favorite actors.
Who are they? Johnny Depp
and
Tom Holland. Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
Ah, that's right.
So this stars both.
I panicked. I didn't know who my
you
favorite
just stared
actor
at me, and
was.
luckily the dead air that was shared between us will be cut out of this. But yes, this one looks like they might be in the French Legion.
You farts.
Or the French Foreign Legion, because they definitely, it looks like a desert movie where they have like the white hats with like neck guards. I didn't say white hoods, I said white hats. Now it's like it just says a frontier outpost that there. It looks like something goes down, and
I don't really love period pieces though.
I know, but you
except
do
for
love,
the Libertine.
You do love Robert Pattinson though, and Jonathan Depp.
Our Patty, if you will.
Our Patty, if you. So that's the first one. Then the next one we're actually going to be jumping into 2020, as the next one is Minamata. This is where it looks like he is a war photographer, and it looks like he goes to, if I had to...
Vietnam?
Close. He goes to Japan, where he is documenting the devastating effects of mercury poisoning in a coastal community.
Oh.
He's got a weird, beard in it, but, I mean, he does tend to do very well when he is taking on...
When he has weird
a biopic where he is actually portraying somebody, because he does very well at imitation, and he's done it.
Unlike my spouse...
I'm great at it. Don't you even.
What's my voice when I'm annoying you?
Oh!
That's not it. That was bad.
I'm trying to think. Why are you being so angry?
Yes.
God!
Yes, that's it. Can we tell that there's a difference?
Yes. There's no difference. There's 2. You heard the same voice coming out of 2 different areas. So how excited are you to watch these 2 movies?
Oh, wow. I'm actually excited now that I remember that you've already told me about them.
I completely forgot about some of that.
More for the Barbarian, less for the photography movie.
But I mean, that one might have a very interesting type story, so I am kind of...
Is it in Japanese?
Intrigued by that. I don't think so. I mean... it looks like there will be some Japanese spoken, but it's in English. I mean, he's playing W. Eugene Smith. So
that is the most Japanese name I have ever heard.
Oh my god! Sorry to all of you Japanese people out there that are listening.
I have
right
friends
now.
that are Japanese.
That's true. You do have.
Stop.
What was her name?
Yukako.
Yeah.
And Daigo.
But I mean, when you have names like Yun Kunimura. That sounds very Japanese. You have Ayumi Takano.
I feel like you should apologize to the Japanese people.
I have multiple
for
times.
that pronunciation.
I'm pretty sure those were pretty spot on.
No, I'll ask Yukako.
That's fair. Have her listen to this one, and then she can critique me.
Yeah.
She's very nice from everything told me. So
Yukako, if you ever do listen to this, you're just a very kind-hearted person, and thank you again. In 2017, she took me around Japan for 2 weeks.
Almost a decade.
Well, not 2 weeks. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was with Yukako and her family for 3 days. She just hosted us because I got... Shut up, I lost track of time. Katie and Jeremy accidentally locked me and Jake out of their apartment.
That's her ex-boyfriend. That she paid
What
for him
up?
to go to Japan.
What up?
So anything then you want to talk about before we jump out of here to go over to Waiting for Barbarians, or Waiting for the Barbarians, whatever that was called again?
I just want to say that we're nailing this intro.
Woo! Yeah, boy. Oh.
Kibu, that is my least favorite thing that David has learned from you.
I use it so often now that it's just ingrained in my speech.
It hurts me every time.
Let's go ahead then and jump over to the trailer for Waiting for the Barbarians.
Waiting on a friend who...
Are you familiar with these parts of the frontier?
Not with this part. Not yet.
There is an episode of hysteria about the barbarians.
I have orders to obey. I am speaking of particular situations. Situations where I am probing for the truth. Since all is not well here, I expect further measures will be taken.
Colonel Joel is out conducting operations to correct the situation that you've allowed to develop.
What did they do to you? Do you want me to take you back to your family? The barbarians whom you are chasing. This is their land. They know every inch of it. You do not. Did you really say that there will be a great war against the Empire?
Pain is truth. That is how you get it. You have no idea how tiresome your behavior is.
You are an obscene torture.
We have set procedures. Ready to go.
You've been treasonously consorting with the enemy.
Get out! I want these people out of here!
We will end these troubles. We will put down the enemy. And that will be the end of it.
And welcome back. So as you could tell by that trailer there, we watched Waiting for the Barbarians from 2019. This is directed by Ciro Guerrera. I did see some trivia.
His first English film.
That was what I was just going to say, yeah. This is written by J.M. Coates, which I actually believe he wrote the novel and then did the adaptation for the screenplay.
Ah, okay.
This stars Mark Rylance and two of you boys, Jonathan Depp and Robert Pattinson, good old Robbie. This is a period drama, prison drama, psychological drama, history film that is a co-production of Italy and the United States. Currently sitting on a 6.0 on IMDb and a 3.0 on the Letterboxd. And the synopsis is, at an isolated frontier outpost, a colonial magistrate
In what country? I need
suffers
to know.
a crisis of conscience when an army colonel arrives looking to interrogate the locals about an impending uprising using cruel tactics that horrify the magistrate. So let's actually start with that question that you just posed there. I actually heard that on purpose they decided to make this be vague because they didn't want to, like, I guess for lack of a way of saying it, they didn't want to, like, just single out one country or, like, call anybody out because what you get here, a lot of countries have done, where they have an outpost in another country. They treat it like it's truly their land and defend it. And they even make a point that the reason they're doing this is that they do not want... This is like the first line of defense if the Empire gets attacked. Mm. So it's like they want... that you have to come through here, so they want some sort of defense to at least slow down whoever comes after them.
Got it.
But yeah, what did you think about this this film?
As I reflect on it, I like it more and more.
Yeah.
But I didn't like watching it.
It's very heavy.
It's very heavy. It's very sad. It's fucked up. Sorry, explicit.
Yeah, there it is. Boom.
But it's kind of telling, like, did Johnny Depp's character foreshadow this? Mm-hmm. Or did he cause this?
Yeah.
That's the part that you don't know. And I think that's what makes it, you
Yeah.
think about it even more and more. Because the barbarians could have been linked to the girl.
Yeah.
And she could have told them everything.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that for what Colonel Jal, who is Johnny Depp, what he did is what caused them to be attacked.
Agreed.
Like I don't think...
I think there was already stirrings. They already wanted to.
See, I don't know if they wanted to. I think these people were just nomadic and they were just moving about, and minding their business. They just assume that all the white people are going to leave at some point, because that seems to be what the history is.
Yeah, and they're nomads, so they probably don't care so much about where they are because they move where they need to.
Yeah, I'm assuming they either move with like the Native Indians did, where they moved with the herds of like animals, or they would just kind of, they go to this place in this season, this place in this season, and just kind of move around that way. I definitely think that none of this would have happened if the white people would just have left the natives alone.
There was no reason for them to intervene like they did.
No, exactly. And kind of looking more at what you were talking about, where this takes place, it's interesting because like the nomads are all of Asian descent of some sort.
Yes.
And then, so like
they almost look like Hmong people.
Yeah, they look
from like
Hmong.
Gran Torino.
Okay.
Hmong, but you don't pronounce the H. Hmong.
Yeah. Could that? I don't remember where they were necessarily from. I
don't
think
know.
Those were like Pacific Islanders.
Or
think.
Even Filipino. Like it was definitely like of that culture.
I started
just
wondering
with the
if these
dark
were
hair
Mongolian because they were horseback. That's actually a big thing that they have been known for throughout the history of like just things like that. It's interesting because originally I thought that the white soldiers were French because the French wear those outfits. I was telling you, like, that's what the French Foreign Legion, like, those soldiers would look that way. But I think they kind of are blending a lot of things because the French, I do believe, had, like, outposts in, like, northern Africa. So that was my original thought. But then I was like, wait, none of these people are, like, black. It's literally all Asian people.
Yeah, and none of them had an accent or...
Right. So and there's, like, a blending of accents because Pattinson kind of has, like, a British accent. Johnny Depp is more, like...
French almost.
Or like even just American with his thing. But Mark Rylance almost kind of had like a European accent with how he talked as well. And then you have Harry Melling, another Harry Potter alum, who is one of the soldiers.
I pointed him out.
You did.
Dudley.
Yep. And he kind of also had his own, normal kind of accent there as well.
You don't know what happens to him.
I'm assuming he's one of the ones that fled when all the soldiers abandoned the garrison. Outside of
such a messed
the
up
magistrate.
movie.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to talk about here that was
No, I think that's about it. I didn't have a lot of trivia for this movie. There was maybe 5.
There's a few things. Something you had brought up. This director, I guess, is Colombian.
Mm-hmm. It's his first English.
Yep. And what's kind of interesting is that being from Colombia, South America being a very colonialized continent, kind of an interesting perspective that he has, being that his country probably had dealt with this in the past. There's probably remnants that he kind of grew up. He probably didn't deal directly with a colonial country owning them, but I'm assuming elders in his area where he grew up probably dealt with that. Kind of an interesting perspective that he's coming with,
right? Because
he's almost seen it as like the barbarians in this, quote unquote. But this movie's definitely playing with the idea that who's the monster here? Who are the barbarians?
Yeah, this
is something that like, Cannibal Holocaust actually does a great job at kind of exploring. I like this where it's like we're seeing these barbaric things being done by the civilized people, but then it turns out that like eventually when you push somebody too far, they're finally gonna like
fight back.
Another thing I kind of want to bring up would be the character dynamics between the magistrate, Colonel Jaw, and Officer Mandel, who is Pattinson. Those are all kind of very interesting, is that the magistrate really just wants everybody to live in harmony.
Yeah, he might not do things by the book.
Especially how, like, his colonial country would like him to do.
Yeah, but he does things by the land and by the people. Everyone's happy. He's not as vicious towards the barbarians, but he has peace. He doesn't have all this war, and he's actually very knowledgeable about the barbarians.
I think a lot of that's just being ingrained and having, like, interacted with them.
Right, so he's trying to communicate with them. He's trying to have peace.
Yep.
Because I don't know how long he had been there, but it seems like a long time.
It does seem like he had been there for quite a while. What's interesting about him, though, is he kind of becomes like the myth of the good colonizer, where, like, yes, he does do everything. He is keeping a peace of sorts. But we see his interactions with the blind woman who was attacked by the army, and how he thinks he's doing all these good things, and how she kind of despises him in the respect that she wants to go home and be away from him. She doesn't hate him. She hates the idea of his people.
Yeah, and you have to think in that time, women were meant to be submissive, and so she probably doesn't know what he wants from her.
What's also interesting though, that's like by like European standards, not necessarily with indigenous people.
Right.
Because indigenous people, I see what you're saying though, is that like...
But she's not dumb, she was beat and all this stuff, so she probably doesn't know
It sounds like they put like a hot spoon on her eye and messed up her...
vision.
And like messed up her cornea, because she can see...
Peripheral.
Like a little bit outside of it, but she can't see straight on anymore, and they broke her ankles to the point where I'm assuming, just healed improperly, so she has to walk with crutches.
Yeah, so she probably is afraid of him, even with his kindness. She doesn't trust him.
Yeah.
And then he touches her face all the time. I'd be pissed about that, too.
You do get very mad when Mackenzie or me touch your face.
Yeah, because it makes my lupus worse.
You got lupus on your face. Mommy, when am I going to have lupus?
Oh, what a lovely, lovely girl.
And then shifting over to talk about Depp's character, actually. It's kind of interesting is that he does kind of have his like flamboyant flair.
Yes.
To
yes.
This, but it's
you
also,
are right.
He has these weird like sunglasses.
I want them.
It makes him look like an alien, which is kind of interesting that he is like the one who's out of place when he first shows up. Oh. And his like viciousness.
I didn't think about that.
So just something interesting that I picked up about him. And an interesting one here is that you can kind of almost look like Pattinson's character of Officer Mendel as like the dark version of the magistrate, because he shows up and wants to do everything by the book, and he is mad and looking for ways to single out the magistrate and like punish him for what he felt wasn't being done properly.
Yeah.
I guess before we kind of move on from there, I do want to give credit to the girl, is what she is referred to, is Ghana, or it's Gana, so Ghana Bayer Shakan did a very excellent job as seeing somebody who seemed like she could be blind, but not like born that way. Or like, it's not something that she's been afflicted with long.
I thought she did a great job too.
Anything else you want to talk about before we shift over? Because I'm not going to do outside of cast, we've already talked about all the main people. This is actually a rare one where there's not a lot of named people. I know Mark Rylance from a film that actually has Timothée Chalamet in it called Bones and All, about like cannibals in like the United States.
Ew.
And how they just kind of like roam around. There's so few of them. He's actually one who's kind of super creepy. And I was like, I know this guy looks familiar. So like he has that look about him where he can do that. We've already talked about Depp, Pattinson, and then the only other one we talked about was Melling. Other than that, I didn't recognize any other
Agreed.
people. So what do you think about Johnny's performance here?
He's so good at these evil people.
Yeah.
Like
but playing
acting,
it though subdued.
Right, like he just that seriousness, and like even his cheekbones, like he's just so freaking sinister. And
there's no emotion
from
him, and he's very just cold about everything he does, where it's almost like, it's fitting that he's a military officer because he's very clinical about everything he does.
This is probably his coldest role. Even when he is Grindelwald, he's warmer. You know what I mean?
Well, because in that one, he's actually rallying people and is like seducing them to his side, where this one he's not.
Yeah, this one he already earned it.
Yeah.
He plays these roles so freaking well.
Yeah, this one's up there as being one of like his better, he's very good in this one. There's not a lot of range in this performance.
No.
But he doesn't need it, though. He needs to be the sinister figure that when he's there, you're worried about what he's doing. Yeah. And then when he leaves, you're worried about if he comes back, what's going to happen.
He doesn't even really say a lot. But the things he does say is very bone-chilling.
Yeah.
Like, that's his whole presence, is you don't want to mess with this guy. You want this guy to leave as soon as possible. And he plays it so well.
Yeah. And it's even like the magistrate. He at first kind of just treats him like a superior, and then you see then they kind of butt heads because they have such diametrically different ways of doing things.
Yes.
But then in the end of it, even he starts to get scared of him. And I do like that he tries to smooth over everything, and when that's happening, you're like, this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
It's going to make him very mad, and obviously it does. So do you have anything else you want to talk about for the role?
No, not really. I think we covered it.
So, are you going to switch off of the professor and move over to this?
I can't. There's not enough range here. Okay. If it was just for 15 minutes, this, I think, would be up there. But I can't.
Yeah, it's a one-dimensional character, but this movie needed him to be that one-dimensional, just villain.
Yeah, he steals whatever scene he's in. He steals it.
He does.
Like,
because all focus goes to him.
Right, and just how he delivers things, even his posture. Even when he did an about face, it was so hard of a turn. Yeah. You're like, this guy is military through and through. He steals every scene.
I mean, I will say, I'll give credit to the 3 stars of this because they
all of them were great.
Job, yeah. And it's kind of interesting. This movie just kind of flew under the radar. Now, this would have been right around the time that we started dating in 2019.
Yeah, was it fall?
I'm not sure of the exact
it's fine.
True release date. I might be able to see if I can. My computer's actually not running super slow right now. But, I mean, it looks like technically August 2020 is when it came out. I'm assuming it probably did festival. It did. Italy and Brazil, it premiered at film festivals.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it did very well, but I don't think this is a movie you really want to go
2020 would have been COVID.
Oh.
Because that would have been March.
So it came out in 2019,
it hit festivals. It did the festival rounds in 2019.
Got it.
Hit the internet in 2020. So, like, not having a theatrical release, looks like it just went to the internet. Theaters were closed still.
Right.
At least for the most part. So, like, it looks like the companies probably were just like, let's just get it out there and let people see it. And this one, didn't really, most people, I'm assuming, probably haven't even heard of it.
Yeah. Neither of us had heard of it.
I had just seen it as one of the, like, later posters where I'm like, oh, cool title. So I do like the title a lot.
Yeah, because I think you can't tell who's the barbarian.
I mean, you know by that last image, which I thought was
so good.
Chef's kiss. Anything else you want to talk about before we briefly just kind of bring up what we're going to watch next?
Go back to your previous statement. Yeah. You think the barbarians are the nomadic people?
I think, in theory,
yes,
they're waiting for the barbarians. The ending is they're waiting for them to attack.
Yeah, but I think
the true barbarians are...
Well, because we're also waiting on when are they returning. When are they leaving? So I think we're also waiting on them. I think it's a very clever title.
Yes. Well, the true barbarians are the imperialistic soldiers.
Yes. But, okay. I just wanted to back up and make sure.
But with that last image, like, they're truly waiting on the barbarians to pretty much end everything.
How sad.
Yeah. And the people that are going to get punished there are people that weren't even in the wrong.
Right.
Outside of the people that live in the village of that, like, outpost.
Yeah.
Because they side with.
Agreed.
All right, well, then the next movie then we're going to be watching is Minamata. This one is about...
the photographer.
He's the photographer in the past of Japan. So kind of you're curious to see here. I know this one also has kind of an interesting cast, so yeah. Anything you want to say before we end this and get over to the trailer?
Let's roll.
All righty. We will be right back once again.
There's a company in Japan that's been dumping their toxic waste into the sea. The people need help. We need global attention. We need you.
I'm the greatest photographer that Life magazine has ever had.
But you aren't. You're the single most impossible photographer that Life has ever had.
Listen to me, I need the pictures, Gene.
Bring the story home.
The cover-up is going to be as much of a story as the story itself.
この人は一人で来たの?
You cannot let your emotions run the show. Go home.
人類最後の戦争にしようじゃありませんか
検査あるとおとらしなかった?
Why would I be? The Native Americans, they believed that a photograph would literally take a piece of the subject's soul. But it can also take a piece of the photographer's soul. Focus on the photograph you want to take. Focus on what you want to say.
And welcome back. So the movie, as you can tell from the trailer, is Minamata. This is from 2020. I believe this one's probably another one that got hit by the old pandemic.
Yeah.
This is directed by Andrew Levitas. Now, this one I want to make sure I get everybody here in line. So this is based on the book that was written between Eileen Miyoko Smith and W. Eugene Smith.
Oh, they wrote the book?
Yes, they did.
I didn't know that.
So it must be like a bio or like an autobiography, depending on which parts are being written by who. Then
Can it be both then?
And then the screenplay was written by...
You just ignored me.
No, I made a gesture towards you. The fans think I ignored you. I was trying to get back to what I was doing. But the screenplay was written by Levitas, David Kessler, it's a great name, Stephen Daughters, and Jason Foreman. I probably mispronounced that one homie's name, but here we are. This is...
Jason's name?
His last name.
Uh-huh.
This is starring Akiko Iwase, Kogarashi Wakasugi, and Jonathan Depp. But the ones I actually also want to include here, because we have a couple of legendary actors. Bill Nighy. We also have Hiroyuki Sanada and Yoon Kunimura. And then this film is a docudrama, according to the book.
Why a double drama?
I'm not sure why. That's two different things. Co-production of the United Kingdom, United States, United Arab Emirates, and Japan.
Okay, I was going to say it had to have Japan in there, right?
This is currently sitting on a 7.2 on IMDb. And of course, this is going to roll 3.6 on the Letterboxd.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Oh, it's actually pretty high up there. And the synopsis is...
You have a glitter in your hair.
You what?
A sparkle, if you will.
Blame my children. War photographer W. Eugene Smith travels back to Japan, where he documents the devastating effect of mercury poisoning in coastal communities. So this is one that neither one of us had heard of prior to us figuring out that we're going to be watching this one. So what were your initial thoughts here, having now watched this one?
It was such a powerful movie. I did not want to watch this movie.
Yeah, you really didn't.
I don't know why.
I don't either, because you usually like his biopics. So.
Yeah, I just... Probably because it was going to bring me down.
No, that's fair, because it was very depressing.
It was very depressing. Oh, it was a beautiful film. Like, truly just beautiful.
Really good cinematography.
Yeah, and I haven't really watched a lot of perspectives of a photographer.
Yeah.
So that was a newer one that I hadn't seen that perspective.
I've seen a couple here and there. This one is probably the most in-depth I've seen for, like, somebody like this.
Yeah, because you have to think a lot, especially back then, that's how they did everything, were those pictures. And you see a lot of those...
You probably had more people like this as well back then who were more photojournalists.
Right, and now you see stuff and I can't tell if it's AI or what or who, or everyone thinks they're... And you could just tell he was... I don't think he was a good person, but he wasn't a bad person.
He had his demons. I think that's actually a bigger deal here more than anything, is the fact... I don't necessarily think he's a bad person. I think he was dedicated to his profession, and I think his family fell by the wayside, because we hear that, like, he was divorced and that his children didn't want to have anything to do with him.
You can't, like... You can always blame the person for their choices, but this career path...
It's tough because he was so important for a lot of things that he did. And then his demons, we clearly see that he has nightmares almost every night, which he copes with by drinking. But his nightmares are literally of the things that he saw. We kind of were talking about it.
You said he traveled back to Japan.
Yes.
So I'm assuming he was on location in Japan, and that's where some of those images are from.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I'm assuming he probably went to Japan because we did have Vietnam and Korea, and Japan is right there. And at that point, they would have been under, like, I don't know the term, our stewardship. Because after World War II, they weren't allowed to have a standing, like, army and whatnot. So, like, we were there to protect them because of everything. Oh, yeah. Like, right after World War II, after we decimated everything, we helped them rebuild, but in order to help them rebuild, they really were limited militarily of what they could have. I think they now can have a standing military, but it's been fairly recent that kind of got passed.
Oh. I'm not very up to date on all the wars.
I started looking up a lot of this stuff when I was kicking the tires about writing, like, a book about horror movies, like, in history. And part of what I was doing was actually including, like, world events from any country that made a movie in that year. So I started to kind of, I like history anyways, but
Yes.
that also was something that like interested me while I was doing that research there as well. Yeah. Anything else that you kind of wanted to bring up here then for this?
I just think of the last picture. Tomoko takes a bath. I think it's Tomoko.
I think so.
So powerful. Especially, he finally got the people to believe him that he was there and he needed to see their faces. He took a lot of wonderful, I don't know the right word. They're horrible to look at, but they're so beautiful at the same time. I don't know that.
Powerful, and
it's
it really
powerful,
kind of,
and it highlights all the terrible things, and they're so tastefully done. But nobody wanted their faces in, and he kept saying
initially when he first got there, he asked that.
Yeah,
and nobody was willing.
The faces and the eyes tell. Really, that's how you connect with people.
Yeah.
So once, I think it really took him standing up and being beaten.
Yeah.
That people started to truly trust him.
Yeah, because they almost looked at him as one of them for everything he went through during this whole ordeal.
Yeah, or just seeing how passionate he was, and like he was distraught half the time, but he was actually there to fight for them, not exploit them.
Yeah.
But in order to fight for them, he has to exploit them.
Kind of. I don't really consider exploitation for what he's trying to do.
Right. But I don't know another word.
I mean, yeah, it makes them vulnerable because he is putting them out for the world to see. But that was the whole purpose of them. Because, I mean, it kind of set the stage a little bit more, is that we first see him in New York, where he's just kind of getting drunk, losing his job with Life magazine. And then he gets visited by the one young lady, Eileen. And so, like, this is taking place in 1971. Now, the whole thing that they're asking for his help is that there is mercury poisoning happening in the fish in this sea right outside of Japan, in this, like, bay. So this is...
From Chiso.
Yes, it's a Chiso corporation. They're dumping toxic wastewater.
And they're still around.
As far as I know, they never really, like, we find out in the end some things about them, but as far as I know, yeah, they're still a company. Yeah, and this is exploring what kind of happened with this thing that's now dubbed the Minamata disease, which is, it's mercury poisoning is what it is, and it's attacking, like, the brain. We're seeing the effects of it. But this really truly becomes, like, a David versus Goliath, like, legal drama in the vein of, like, a Aaron Brockovich.
Yes.
Where you had these people being exploited by this company, and this company employs, like...
60% of the community.
Right, so it's one of those things where, like, if you fight them, you could lose your job. But even the leader, who is the guy from, like, The Ring, is Sanada. He plays Mitsuo. He even points out, like, they don't want to shut down the corporation. He literally wants them just to pay and allow them to live their lives out as little pain as they can have by paying for their treatments. And the company ends up doing the calculations. So, spoiler alert, they do the calculations and they realize it's way too expensive for them to do that. Kind of what you're talking about as well, like with the power and like the visual, like of like the photojournalism. This whole movie is very dark in the color palette. There's not a lot of color. It's a lot of
for
like
the fire and the red of the film.
And then, well, the sunrises is where a lot of light comes. But outside of that, it's very muted, very like melancholy almost.
Yeah.
But like you said, it is still beautiful because this Japanese coastal village is fun to look at, just because of, like,
it's
you can tell the rich history with their architecture, and it's not modern. It's definitely classic for what you'd expect from that one. And there's a lot of stuff that they also do with that where they took real footage and tried to match it up as best as humanly possible.
I like when they do that.
Too.
Like, you can tell the effort was there.
Yeah.
This movie will live with me for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that there, that it's, definitely has a lot of stuff that the pictures are probably the biggest thing. And, like, the ending credits are literally showing different similar type things around the world. Not caused all by the same corporation, but just different corporations and the greed and how we cut corners and how it affects the environment and like humans.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of that is just hauntingly beautiful for what they do with it.
Agreed.
Anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nope.
I was just kind of looking up some of the things as we're getting ready to sit down. So some of the critiques that people have, actually, because this is something we don't really find a whole lot of, is that it feels a little bit predictable in that you have this outsider coming to town and finds his redemption and helps the people in the same thing. It also, my problem with biopics, it has to end a certain way or it doesn't work. Luckily for us, we didn't know the
much
history.
about it.
So
you mean
it was
no
a
one's
gut punch at the end?
Well, are you talking about all biopics have to end the villain to hero?
Part. Well, no. I mean, biopics, it's based on a real story. So if you're going to do a true biopic, you have to follow the story. You can shift things around a little bit, but the ending has to be the ending.
Right. Because I think sometimes the hero is the hero and sometimes the hero turns bad, but they don't normally popularize them.
Well, one thing with this one is that this actually does very well with not doing this, is it almost felt like at first it was going to be the white savior, and that you see a lot of these things. So that's why I love that they actually have a lot of Japanese actors.
They do.
Most of the cast is Japanese.
I think the only one that isn't is Depp.
In Japan.
In Japan,
yeah,
right.
Correct. Yeah. No, it is. And so I'm glad that they're actually the ones doing a lot of the work where he's their secret weapon. Mm-hmm. He's their bargaining chip that they need. So I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Yes.
Because that would have been my big issue, is that if they would have taken the power away from them and given it to him, so at least it avoids that trope.
Yeah, he was just there to tell their story.
Yes. I guess if there's nothing else, we can go over and talk about our boy.
Yes, our boy.
I mean, I've watched enough of his films now. I feel like I take a little bit of ownership of him. What do you think of his performance?
I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was very good.
It was a solid performance. He does very well emanating somebody else.
Yes. That's, I think, where he truly shines.
I agree.
I was actually thinking about it in the shower before we were recording that. I was like, he's really good at taking somebody and then becoming them and doing a fictionalized version of them.
I also think he's very good at playing a drunk.
Oh, yeah. Which we'll find out next month.
But, we all know his
Yeah.
well-publicized history and issues with drinking.
Yeah.
And, I think he can play it well because he understands it.
Oh, probably.
Right? He's acting, yes, but he knows how to do it. But I never feel oh, it's Johnny Depp drunk again on screen. It's more of oh, no, that's Jack Sparrow. Oh, no, that's Gene. Oh, no, that's Hunter S. Thompson. You know what I mean? He does very well with somebody who's in a dark, messed up space.
I don't put him on the level of these guys I'm about to say their name. But he falls in this line to me of the consummate professional. That I don't know if he showed up to set drunk in any of his productions. I don't care to look enough into that. Oliver Reed, the guy who was in Gladiator. He's the old guy who is trying to help Russell Crowe's character. He's actually part of the Roman Senate and everything like that. Well known that he ends up dying of a heart attack because he was a horrible alcoholic. He was one of those guys though. He would come off, they'd say cut, he'd go over, he would drink, he got back on, you started the camera up, you could not tell he was hammered in his acting performances. He was that much of a professional.
Or alcoholic.
But to be able to remember your lines, to go out there and physically act, is a whole different ballgame than just being an alcoholic. He was a professional where he could just, that, and turn the switch on and become another one. I was actually watching a documentary episode about Boris Karloff. Right at the end of his career, he was wheelchair bound, he had emphysema, struggling in life. The moment the camera starts rolling, he gets up out of his chair, goes on, does his scene. Actually, they were saying he actually hit somebody with a cane in that scene. And then once the director said cut, he went back, sat down, went back on oxygen. Could not tell that he had emphysema or that he was struggling and was near death. That he was
really?
Gonna pass. Yeah. I put Depp in that category where I don't know how much of an alcoholic he is outside of what was said in the trial.
Right.
But when the camera's on, he is on. He
Agreed.
Truly does all those things. And it's also kind of interesting, you brought up Jack Sparrow. I appreciate that he can strip away a character like that and then become this guy who's a real person, but then go back and be Jack Sparrow.
Or Willy Wonka. Or
Grindelwald. Be any of these characters where
Manhattan.
where he can get into these characters, but he can also be a real human.
Right.
When he does
just think
things.
it was tremendous.
For sure. And I mean, I don't know enough about the actual guy here. How he holds the camera and just like how he looks just like beaten down by life. That is really stuff that I believe that he could be.
Right. I should
guy.
have looked up another picture.
I know the picture that I've looked up, like a couple, and they do look
really
pretty close to like he's pretty spot on. I guess anything else you want to talk about for this movie before we figure out what we're gonna do with what movie we're gonna stick with?
Negative.
Okay. Are you switching off of The Professor to this movie?
I am not.
Okay.
I can't do it. That Professor is just so top notch.
I'm not either. I debated it. My problem is that the Professor is a fictional character that he was able to bring to life and showed all the range that he does. This gets very close. The problem is he's taking on a real person.
Right.
So to me, it's like an adaptation where I sometimes will mark a movie down slightly because it's not an original idea. You're borrowing an idea from something else.
So critical.
I mean, when you're getting down to the nitty gritty like this, you gotta be on it. Like, this is a real person, so I can't.
Well,
give it
Johnny's a real person. Maybe he doesn't like to hear all this stuff.
Well, then don't be in the public eye. Anything else then before we close and get over to our little ending spiel here?
No.
Why don't we first get over to your fun fact?
Happy birthday to Johnny Depp. He is 63 years old today.
That's crazy.
I saw it on Instagram, so it could have been like 2 days ago, or maybe it's in the future. Who knows?
His birthday was somewhere around at this point. Actually, I'll try to see if I
Maybe it's today.
I hope it's today. That's kind of crazy, because 6'9".
You're a child.
Yes, I am.
Gosh, you are a child.
So while this is loading, anything else that you want to talk about before we start to wind things down and I say what we're going to do next?
I don't think so.
It is his birthday.
Yes.
June 9th, yeah. Okay. You look like you're ready to say something and then you shut down.
I'm tired.
Okay, fair enough. So for the next one, we've been talking back and forth. Since he has a gap here in his filmography.
Because what, this is 2020.
I don't think he had anything come out again until 2022 maybe is when his next movie came out. So I'll get into what those will be next. This I think we're going to do is we're going to break away and do the 2 documentaries about the trial with Amber Heard.
Yes. I mean, part of me really wants to do it. The other part of me doesn't.
Yeah. Because
it's not him acting.
Right. And we've skipped a lot of documentaries, but I think this is such a pivotal part of like
his career.
That
like, he's just now making a comeback. He has 2 movies I think scheduled to be released.
He's got more than that. He's got movies that he's like been a part of. But I mean, he really only has 2 movies that have come out. One of them looks like it's a TV miniseries that became the animated film that's actually out. Because he hasn't done anything after this movie. He took like he did voice acting, he did some music videos. And then
a music video?
Yeah, he officially has 2 that are in post-production or filming right now.
Yeah, so he took a big hit from that I think, because one is like more Johnny favored, the other one's more Amber favored, isn't it?
Yeah, because one, I think it's the British one is more her,
yes.
And then the American one is more taking his side.
Right, and I'm not here to pass judgment. We weren't in the trial. We were not selected to be the jurors.
Well, that's why we wanted to do both
care.
sides of the debate.
Right.
And just kind of, because that one we might even just do, we'll discuss it. We might just do one long thing.
Yeah, we probably won't need to do the trailers. I'd like just to watch it. I mean, like, we watched it. This is what we thought of it.
So it might be a shorter episode, but we might just watch both documentaries and then just record after we've watched both documentaries.
I think that would be
And then just
good.
do one review and kind of...
Yeah, because I guess, is it on IMDb?
I'm sure.
Is it a movie?
It'll be on there because it's a documentary.
Yeah. So, I mean, technically it's in there, and it is about him. It makes sense.
Because it would fall under self, so it wouldn't fall under, like, acting credits.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't think he's not acting. These are his public trials.
No, it would fall into, like, any, like, appearances that he's done as TV shows.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, because they're both on here, because it's Depp v. Heard, and then the other one is... I can find it quick. Yeah, it's not showing me what the other one's called offhand, and I'm probably just looking at it and scrolling over.
That's all right.
But those will be the two that we'll watch both of those, do one review, and then that'll set us up for our last episode.
Wow.
For his animated film that is out, as well as a period piece that he was.
Wow, end of an era.
Yeah, and then we have something special for y'all after that.
Mm-hmm.
So looking out for that, which would be
August?
August will be the last episode. And
Happy
then,
birthday to me.
Yeah, and then, that's kind of fitting that we'd end it. And then we'll jump over and do something different in September.
That's right.
So, anything else that you want to say as we close out?
Nope. Sorry, I don't have anything profound.
All right, well then, I am one half of your hosting duo of David Garrett Jr., and I'm signing off.
And I'm the better half of Jaime Frisch Garrett. Talk to you next time.
Okay, bye.
It had been a wonderful evening, and what I needed now to give it the perfect ending.
This is...
Sorry, I bumped the table with my knee.
Probably shouldn't be sitting like that.
Well, because I'm icing my ankle.
You're fine, but classic move.